Okay, I was watching a guy that did this thing in Fortnite about Marvel, how he was showing off different things that you can do in the game that's kind of Marvel-esque. So I just grabbed a bunch of pieces of various Marvel people. The Thor in the background there isn't the actual Thor, it's the actual God of Thunder, which to me is the real Thor anyway. But anyhow, um, uh, you got Thanos on the left, Captain America in the middle, Wasp, and then that Hulk guy there is the red version of the Hulk. I've got other characters for Marvel too, and pieces and different stuff like that, and I thought I'd just throw this together and throw it up there just so you guys can see. I got a whole whack load of DC guys that are actually textured and colored, and all like I say, guys, all I need is a really good tutorial on rigging, and I could be making little fan fiction stuff and doing things, and I'm being prevented from proper learning by these people at Blender who have paywalled the practice rig. I mean, it's like putting half your free it would be like putting, okay, Linux is free to download, right? Well, what if you got 3/4 of the way through the download, and then the last quarter you had to pay $100 million? You know how useless Linux is now all of a sudden. You know, because in order to do rigging in Maya, I got to pay a subscription fee that's insane. So it's not going to happen. So until, like, I can do animating with spaceships and add sounds and different things like that, and do space battles and little things like that. But when it comes to making people move and doing different things like that, I can't do it until I'm I'm given something proper by the Blender people, and I don't know. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks and months since somebody had a proper one done. So these guys keep putting out all these fancy pants stuff, and the rest of us are going, yeah. So woo. That's right. Keep putting out new versions and have everybody just not able to make a tutorial because you keep changing shit. I mean, it's frustrating, guys. I mean, I got all of this time to do stuff, and I just, I mean, I'm gonna have to just go in there and figure it out on my own, and then, and then what? Then I'll know, and no one else will, right? That's fair, right? Right? Eh? 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 Uh, Jeez. And some of those guys, like I gave them ideas on some of the fancy stuff they did with wormholes and different stuff, how it would be neat if you did this. And he said, well, why don't you do that? And I said, well, I could, and maybe I will. I'll get around to it, and then I'll let you know. He says, well, let me know. I'd like to see how that works out. And I said, well, and I never got back to it. And he's one of the guys that was doing these tutorials, and I was looking at different things he was doing and showing, and it's cool that they do that. He says to me that they don't make much money doing this. Well, if you get, uh, 20,000 views for something, right? Okay. Each thousand is, let's say, 30 cents. Okay. So you're going to make 7 or 8 bucks per tutorial. Now you do 100 tutorials. Okay. There's 700 bucks for you. Okay. Now you start doing partnering up with people that are actually doing stuff that actual animating, and don't tell me you're not making money doing that just doesn't fly. You wouldn't be doing this stuff on your for free. These people don't like it's a misnomer. Okay. Like, it's like the one guy, he gives you all these tutorials, and then when you go to look at trying to put materials to things, he locked all his materials and stuff behind a website called Polygon, and he's got a big thing going on there with it. And I'm just like, oh yeah, here we go, yeah. And this is the whole. This is why I'm gonna end up, just not doing it. Okay, I'm not gonna animate anything unless it's given out, by Unreal, right? And that's why you look at the animating that goes on with Blender. It looks like little silly wolves and idiotic kids stuff, right? I hate to say it, but that's what they're getting because they're not opening up to it, the potentials. And don't tell me that Blender's having a hard time with money either. You got 1.2 million from Unreal. You got a gold membership from Ubisoft. You got donations coming in from everybody. Uh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd put this out there just to show you that there's neat things. Now you see, you could put a bone structure into his head here, and then you could have something in the lips, have his eyes, have a thing that move, and you could make this thing talk in essence, right? Same with any of these, right? Uh, the only one that would be hard to deal with would be this. You'd have to have to get a different head, maybe change the face and the mouth and close his mouth and then have it so that he can open his mouth. Then you can have wings flutter and animating and all this other jazz and, use the jetpack thing for her and she would be like flying and instead of having it a jetpack sound, just, you know, whatever. There's all kinds of things you can do with stuff, guys, and it doesn't need to be these characters that have already been created. Can create our own stuff too, but that's what I wanted to do, and I have original stuff that I wanted to do, and I can't rig it because, well, you know, the guy that showed us, there's something wrong with what he was showing us. That was the first thing, and then he never got back to doing it. It's just like, okay, figure it out yourself. Screw everybody. Kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Anyway, thought I'd put this up there just as a little thingy.